All right, today we are going to talk about mods and the mods that I use in particular in World of Warships. And so, a couple of ways you can get mods. So, the first place that you might be wanting to look for mods is in the World of Warships Modpack. And that's probably the easiest, although it is a little bit limited on which mods you can get. But if you go to the worldofwarships.com website, and then click here on useful. Then when you do that, you bring down the mod station section here, and there you can download the mod station, the most current version, which I have already downloaded. And when I run mod station, it comes up to the screen that allows you to pick out different crosshairs and things like that. Now, I don't use any of these crosshairs, but there are a lot of people that swear by the dynamic crosshairs, and some of them are real useful to allow you to get your shells to land on target that are not going directly horizontal or vertically to your axis, but maybe obliquely. And so feel free to check any of those out. Some people like the different gun markers also. I happen to be satisfied with the ones that I use, but again, you might want to try those. I don't load any more mods than I have to, though. I have found that the more mods you have, the more likely it is that they're going to cause problems in the game and sometimes cause the game to hang up or conflict with each other. Although anything that's on Mod Station is supposed to work clean, it doesn't always work out. So the first mod that I'm going to point out that I use are the detection markers. When I am detected by radar or sonar or by another ship, then I get a marker to that effect. Now, the markers that I really like are when I'm detected by hydro, I get the hydrophones. If I'm detected by just by a ship, not by any other means, then I get a marker of a ship, and by radar and by aircraft, you get the aircraft. And then this one, the triangle with an exclamation point inside it, says that I am being proximity detected. So I'm so close to another ship, maybe on the other side of an island or inside smoke, that we can see each other at the same time. So all you do is click on that to select it. And then I like to use the blue RPF locator. So uh, if you use the green or the white that naturally comes with the game, sometimes they have a tendency to blend in with the background. Well, the green probably wouldn't, but the white does. And red actually looks too much like something is hitting me, such as shells from a ship, and so that can kind of get confusing during battle. But this blue one is something that works out really well for me. And then I think that is pretty much it. There are a variety of other cute little things that you can get on here, but again, I keep it to the minimum. So once you select it, it's selected, so you can move on. Now I use the customizable panels by Roshlik, and that is currently not available in ModStation, which is one of the reasons why I'm not using ModStation anymore, is because a lot of times they are real slow to update a couple of the mods that I like. And this is one that I like a lot. I don't care for the auto spy choice, but you see you have 4 different options on here, and it just isn't up to date, so I'm not going to choose that one. And then the next thing that I suppose a person might be interested in would be some of these different camouflages that are available. Now, people in the game won't be able to see these, I don't believe, but you can see them. And if you are a streamer, I suppose, or doing these YouTube videos, you might be interested in doing something like that. But I don't want to add anything that isn't necessary. Now, the really useful in-battle type mods are right here underneath the cross swords. And one that I really recommend here, score timer. If you are in a battle, even though there's a certain amount of time left on the game clock, depending on how much points you've been getting from caps and from ships living and dying, then uh, it's actually going to end the game more quickly than what the battle timer itself says. So this is a really good indicator to help decide whether you need to go in for a heroic attempt or whether you should lay back and stay dark. Another one that I find very useful is the radar timer. Tells me how much time that I have been sitting under somebody's radar or hydro. And if you know reasonably well about how much time a radar should be lasting, then you know whether you're going to be sitting there for a long time or whether you're going to be able to scoot out of there pretty quickly. So I find that that really helps me, especially as a DD. Okay, another one that is a very helpful one is the detection timer after I fire my main guns. So when you fire your guns, your detection is going to shoot out to whatever your gun range are due to your uh, the gun firing blossom of the smoke and the firing effect. And that's allowing ships to detect you for a certain period of time. If I'm a DD, then I am trying to go dark, then I know that I'm going to have uh, other ships being able to see me for a period of time. If I can't get behind an island, maybe I need to get my smoke going. If I'm a cruiser, especially because I like to drive Cleveland, which can take damage pretty quickly, pretty easily. Every time I fire those guns, then I'm going to be detected for a period of time. Well, if I want to go dark, I need to know that about how much time I'm going to have before I can go dark. The regen assistant is a very helpful one for those ships that have a heal, because this gives me a very clear indication of how much HP I'm going to recover and how much I uh, could potentially recover if I used my heal to its most efficient effect. And so I find that that one is really good, especially for my battleships and my kid, the DD, because I don't want to use those heals too quickly and not get the maximum effect on them. Okay, another one that I find useful is the advanced battle chat. And either one of these actually works out pretty well, but I like this one for a couple of things. One is that you can change the size of your chat window, and the other one is because it tells you which ship is talking. It gives you the name of the player and the ship, so that you know right away if somebody is telling you to do something, but they're on the other side of the map. Maybe that isn't anything useful. Then you might ignore it. On the other hand, if it's the guy that's backing you up, that's good to know. I also use the smoke timer, and that tells me just how much time is left on my smoke. If I'm sitting in smoke and I'm running the time out, if I keep firing, then I'm going to be spotted as soon as that smoke runs out. It even works when I have left the smoke, so if I have smoked up for a cruiser, I can tell that cruiser about how much time is left on that smoke. So those are the majors. There might be a couple of others hiding out here that I'm not seeing, but those really help me out during battle. Then import a couple of things that are kind of nice to have is the auto container, which for whatever reason isn't available in ModStation, but I can get it in the Aslain's mod, so we'll be taking a look at that. But the auto container is nice because then you don't have to click and collect every single container that you earn during the games. It'll just collect them automatically, so that one would be nice. The loot crane remover helps speed things up, but that's a fairly minor thing. And I think that's about it. There are some other things that are on here that are kind of nice if you like some of the different modified ports. But again, when you add those in, they can uh, slow your computer down and things like that. So I tend not to throw in all the different mods that you can have, even though some people do. I don't. Now, last thing I would do would be install, and it's as simple as that. It installs. It takes about 20 seconds, and then it's done. However, I am not going to install off ModStation because you saw where there are some of these that just didn't work for us. So instead, what I'm going to do is go into the Aslain's mod site. So the easiest way to find Aslain's is to do a Google search for Aslain and the World of Warships Modpack. If you just type in aslain.com, then I think you're going to get a menu that's going to take you to the World of Tanks and the console versions of World of Warships and such. But this will get you there real quickly, and then we just go in here to the main download link and download the Aslain's WoW's Modpack installer. So the easiest way to find Aslain's is to do a Google search for Aslain and the World of Warships Modpack. If you just type in aslain.com, then I think you're going to get a menu that's going to take you to the World of Tanks and the console versions of World of Warships and such. But this will get you there real quickly, and then we just go in here to the main download link and download the Aslain's WoW's Modpack installer, which I already have here, so I'm not going to need to download that again. But it will automatically check and make sure this is the most current version. And so I'm going to go ahead and run that, and we'll see what this looks like when you install it. Okay, so this will download to the World of Warships directory generally. It'll actually download to whichever directory you assign it to, or it'll default to your most recently used download directory. So it might be in your downloads, but I set up my own so that I can find it more easily under the World of Warships directory, file structure, and then just double click on it to get it running. Let it make changes to your computer. It'll check for updates. If that isn't the most recent one, then it's going to remind you to download it. We'll show the preview window because I believe that's the one that when you're actually using it will show you what the different mods are doing. Okay, this is the set of mods that I have installed. So you can see I have all those team panels available, and that includes the one by Roshlik. So that's why I use Aslain's, because he has all of his mods quickly up to date, as quickly as they become available. And then if I scroll all down, everything is all on one window instead of under tabs here. So You just scroll down through this massive list of mods, and then I use the ship movement indicator. I don't know if I even noticed that one when I was showing you the mod station, but I really like that one because that shows me if a ship is moving forward or backward or if it's sitting still. If you look over here at the preview panel, if I have a green dot, then it's moving forward relative to its positioning. So it isn't necessarily moving toward me, but whichever way is forward for that ship, depending on which way its bow is pointing, it's moving in that direction, or it's backing up, or it's just simply sitting still. It definitely helps you with aiming at ships and knowing whether they're going forward or backward, but there are other indicators in the game that people that are savvy can see, like looking for its bow wake or looking for the direction of its smoke. And so you can see that if you go looking for it, but this really helps. And then I like to see on my mini map where the submarines are pinging from. And so this helps a lot when you've lost track of a submarine on the enemy team, but it's pinging, then that'll pop up on my mini map so you have a good idea of where it is. It doesn't usually give you enough of an indicator to drop your depth charges, although that can help, but it's enough that it tells you whether that submarine is on this side of an island or that side of an island or on the other side of the map altogether. And then we have our choice again of the improved chat, so that I use the Roshlik chat because that's the one that lets me see the player's name and the ship that is doing the talking in the chat. The same regen assistant, all the mods that were available in Mod Station are also available here in Aslain's, and a couple others, of course, that are not available in Mod Station. So the regen assistant we talked about. Now intuitions, I don't think we even saw that on Mod Station, but intuitions is the one that if you are detected by RPF, then it will tell me how many ships out there are locating me. So if I'm moving toward a cap and I think I'm moving away from the battle, but then I show 2 or 3 ships have me located. If you look over here on the preview panel, you see this little arrow that's showing you located. Normally that's all you see, but now you get this little number over it. That's a nice indicator as to how many ships you might be driving into, and might be a good warning not to continue on, at least unless you have some help backing you up. The post-battle progress numbers, they just tell me whether I am making progress on different goals in the game, and if I have made some of them. You get these check marks already, but it tells me what number of kills I need to get, or how many caps I need to get, or how much potential damage I'm still trying to get, things like that. The score timer we talked about, the shot timer we talked about, the radar timer we talked about, and so those are available right in there. The detection icons, they do give you a wider variety of the detection icons than you get in the mod station, but I just like the plain yellow ones. That works out really well for me. They're not so big that they block anything in the game, but they're very visible, and it's clear and obvious to me when I have something detecting me. I use torpedo warning icons that are a little easier to see than some of the others, and they show me what type of torpedoes are coming at me, so those are nice to have. And then I do update my target lock so that when I am locked on a target, another enemy ship, then I get a clear indicator of which ship I'm locked onto. Sometimes when they're all clustered together, it's hard to tell which ship you're locked onto, and if it's white, it blends into the background, so that makes it a little bit easier. I make my ribbons small and move them to the center so that they don't block my view of other things going on. And instead of having those big old ribbons that are all clustered over on the side and they get in the way of my team lineups, then these will go up in the top of the screen. Makes it a lot easier for me. The radio location, having a blue instead of some of these others. Again, ModStation only had 3 choices. These have quite a few choices. And I find that the plain blue one definitely works for me. Lots of other things available on here. Again, some of these are just cute, and if you like them, go for it. But I try not to overload my system with a lot of mods. These were all the different types of gun markers and crosshairs. And then I go for the binocular frame remover. The thing with this one is that if you have the binoculars on normal mode, they cut off corners and narrow down your view to a smaller area. Now I have a much more open frame of view, so I like that one, and that helps a lot. And then scrolling on down, I have the auto container collector that was not available in ModStation right now, but normally would be. And the auto container collector just keeps me from having to actually manually collect my containers after I've earned them in the battle. When I go in, I have all of my containers waiting for me, so I just have to open them, and I can open them all at the same time. The loot box crane remover, we talked about that a little bit, and I guess I had forgotten that last time I loaded the Aslain's Modpack, I went ahead and enabled that just to move things along a little bit. Then I use the permanent camouflage. I used to really dwell on my karma going up or down after a game, and I found that by using this, now I just totally stop worrying about it. And what this does, it sets my karma to a single number, 999 karma, and now I stop worrying about it. And if I have a bad battle and people report me and take away some karma, well, oh well, I don't know it. If they give me karma, I do still get that signal that somebody has complimented me, so okay, fine. But I don't sit there and worry about that number going up or down anymore. That might be about it. Oh, okay, the minimalistic water splashes. Sometimes when you have a DD that everybody's shooting at that DD, it can get really hard to see it. It hides in the water splashes, so this cuts it down a little bit, so it makes it a little easier for me to see that destroyer and keep shells going on it. A lot of these other things, again, are just cutesy kinds of things, so they may or may not be useful to you, but you can kind of check them out, try different things. I choose not to use them for most of the cute things. One that I do like is where I remove the fog, because a lot of times there's haze built in to certain maps, and that can, I don't know, it just gets in the way of things. Same way with the anti-glare, especially because the types of ships that I drive, I depend on being able to see shells coming at me when I'm driving the Cleveland. And so the anti-glare just cuts that glare down quite a bit, makes it a lot better. Same thing here on the Faroe Island map. It can have a lot of dazzle from the sun shining off the water, and so I go ahead and enable that, and it seems to help out. And then there are a lot of special voices that you can have. Again, I just take the in-game voices and things like that. Now, this is a big one for me, but anybody can have this. But I don't want to have a limit on the number of replays. I want to store all of my replays for the current cycle, 1 month at a time, and that way I can go back if I want to and pick up on a game. If I want to use it for a YouTube video, then I can get it. If there was a problem and I feel I need to report somebody, send a ticket in to the wargaming people, then I have that game available. And so that is something that I don't want that limit on there. And you always would like to have your battle replays, at least a few of them, because every once in a while you do have something happen that you need to send that in to tech support, whether it's a mean player that is overboard mean, or maybe you're having a technical problem and you want to report it to them. And then the last one here that I notice is I sometimes will be doing something and waiting for the game to get started, and I'll drop down and be fiddling around with something like my 3D printer, or I'll be doing something on Discord real quick, and then I'll hear my battle go into battle starts. You get that announcement, so I can jump back into the game right away. And so if you don't have this mod, then you've got to sit there and watch the game. Otherwise, they could go into battle and be halfway through the battle, and you won't realize it if you're not if you get lost in something. All right, some of these others, some people use these. I don't. Matchmaking Monitor and Potato Alert, for instance. These actually are external apps that will tell you things about the people on each team, and some people will make a big deal out of it if they notice that they have some uh, people with poor stats loaded up on their team and all that. I find that you play with the ones you got, and that's all there is to it. Sometimes you get a good group, and sometimes you get some with bad stats that play way above those stats. So you can't use that. So I recommend against using those guys, but that's up to you. All right. So once you have those selected, then it's a simple matter of just clicking on next. If you want to remove all of your old mods, and then I like to have an application shortcut on my desktop. It's something that's good to have, and so I'll go ahead and click on next, and we will install. Then after installation, then it gives you the opportunity to donate a little bit of money to him or to become his Patreon. And every couple, 2 or 3 months, I think I'm on a 3 month cycle, I will donate a little bit to him, because he really does make it real easy for us to get the mods we want. And so I will do that, but it isn't something that's required. It's just something nice that I feel like he actually contributes to some of these mods. He writes some of the mods himself, but he's a great collector of these, and it makes the game better. So I like to honor that. So I want to address the idea that using mods is cheating. There are some people that are hardcore about this. Some of these mods they do make the game a lot easier to win and to do well. There are a couple of them that they really just make the game a little cleaner, a little bit easier to do certain things that really have nothing to do with how well you play. Things like the crane remover and auto buying your crates and things like that. But um, to me, anything it's legal. Everything that Aslain has, everything that's in the mod pack, are legal according to wargaming. And if there was a problem, they would not have these available. There are some sites out there I've heard of that do have illegal mods, and Wargaming watches for those and has a way of detecting them. As far as I know, they don't get away with those things in game, although every once in a while you hear somebody in the game accusing a player of using an illegal mod, using cheats. Well, these are not cheats. Wargaming has reviewed them, they have allowed them, and as long as they're allowed, they enhance the game and makes it more fun. So I guess everybody needs to make their own decisions about this, and I'll be interested to see what you think as I read through your comments. If I've missed some mods that you really really like, let me know. If you have an opinion about whether mods are cheats or not, well, say what you want, and you know we'll try to have a civilized discussion about it. But they they make the game a lot better for me, so I'm going to use them. All right, so that'll wrap this up for today. So you have a good day, and I'll see you in battle.